We are here with Mr. Kyle Rhodes talking about...
I think you should probably start the whole thing over.
No, hell no. We're going right into this, baby. Yep, Rap and Pull TV, cross style. We're going to be doing that for years. After you watch the second episode, you'll get it. It's hilarious. Craw from All Hail the Yeti's awesome. Okay, we're going to start now.
Okay.
But I'm still going to use that as the footage. Okay. So you're not free yet. And don't forget to talk on the mic.
Next time I'll throw both little foul mics in the bag.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, I know, because
Got
it's...
Slash on my shirt.
Bye, Slash.
Goodbye.
Bye, Slash. Okay. Talking to the mic. Okay. We are here with Mr. Kyle Rhodes of Rhodes Amplification. Hello, Kyle. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
I remembered to talk into the mic.
I appreciate that. And I'm sure the rest of the world does too. At any rate, we're here to talk about the Gemini, which I just got done playing, and it's unbelievable. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure, it's a 2-channel amp. We got basically a clean and a lead channel. The lead is called lead not just because you can do leads, but because you can do
Sure.
high gain rhythm, lead, anything you want. It's a 2-channel amp that's a lot more feature rich and action packed, if you will.
You have a lot of options, even for, I mean, you have multiple levels for each individual band, you know, the treble, mids, bass. You have different flexibilities there, and that is incredibly unique, and I can't say I've ever seen that before, with the exception of your other amps. But, you know, no one else is doing that.
It's pretty cool because the clean channel you have essentially a fat voice and bright control or switch, if you will, it's MIDI switchable and foot switchable, presettable, etc. And what that enables you to do, just on the clean channel, for instance, is take different guitars, Strat, Les Paul,
Sure.
different pickups, you know, whatever you want to, or whatever you're doing in your set or recording or what have you, and recall without touching any knobs, just recall different responses from the amp and have it match what you're playing or with what guitar, what song, whatever, what have you. And since it's presettable, you don't have to twiddle knobs in the middle of a show. And the same thing goes to the lead channel, just in a little bit different respect, and
Okay.
focused for different types of playing and different types of guitars as well. But you also have a gain option as well. So
Yeah, I really enjoyed the option of having either just the gain 1 or the gain 2. I mean, that's just another level of, you know, if you really want to go that extra without using a boost.
right, yeah, the gain 2 on the lead channel, since we have 4 modes, they work a little bit differently, but essentially mode 1 and 2, we have just the gain control, the regular gain 1 control. And then in these 2 modes, this is only active. This doesn't do anything. Modes 3 and 4, though, we have both this gain 2 and gain 1, and essentially they're cascaded, but it enables you to set the pre-gain a little bit differently, which will affect your attack and the response of the actual distortion character, whereas this, the gain 2 will control more like the bite, and it's not really working like a boost would in front of the amp because it's actually later in the gain stages. But it just by playing with these 2 in modes 3 and 4, you can get different sorts of character, and you can even cut the gain with gain 2. It's pretty cool.
I thought it very much mimics the feel of a boost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super unique. I also love the global top and bottom. Can you tell me a little bit more about those?
Yeah, it's basically top and bottom or power amp response controls. So you're affecting the negative feedback and how the amp amplifies different frequencies. And with that, you can tune in different types of cabinets. You can tune in the amp for lower volume playing or you know, cranked up. So the nice thing with like the bottom control is you could really get the cabinet to move some air even at better volumes. So it sounds a lot bigger than it is at that.
So we've been playing this amp for a little while now. In this, we are in a hotel room at essentially bedroom levels.
Yeah.
It's just maybe just slightly louder than what you would have at your mom and dad's house, and it's crushing.
Yeah. It's
what are the main differences between this and your classic Colossus?
Yeah, the Colossus is our flagship amp. It's a 4-channel amp that has completely 4 independent EQs, 4 gain controls, and 4 distinct channels. You have similar switching between the two. You have fat and mode, for instance, on the lead channels, which you also have on the Gemini amp. One of the differences is the bright switches on the Colossus are just static. They're not MIDI switchable, whereas this is MIDI switchable.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where when I designed this amp, I didn't know that would be real necessary to have as a preset.
Sure.
Turns out I decided it actually is useful, and that rolled into the new product. So the Colossus is going to stay the way it is, though, because I think it's a nice, refined amp the way it is. It's complicated without being too complicated, and this starts, if you had 4 channels of this, it would be a bit much. But
yeah, I agree.
At this level, anyway, people might not be used to this kind of thing yet.
Are these with all the switching options on this and these and the static options that we were just talking about on that? Are these similar in the build process as far as just as time consuming in different ways, possibly?
They are and they aren't. The build on this is a little bit different. This amp goes more toward, I don't want to use the word production, but it's a little bit more production friendly in that we're hand wiring less.
Okay.
The front panel's still hand wired, with the exception of all the LEDs and switches and things. Those are mounted to a
Right.
board. The Colossus is 100% hand wired in the front panel, and all the tube sockets are 100% hand wired in the Colossus.
Oh, wow.
This is all board mounted, but it's all 1/8 inch thick, heavy duty stuff. And the reason I did that primarily was to add some extra features as well. Like the power tubes are individually fused with fault indicators.
Oh.
And
I like that.
yeah, and there's biasing and all that kind of stuff. This has the biasing as well, but this doesn't have the power tube failure indication.
Any plans down the road to make this a little bit more streamlined in production?
Potentially. It's so good now, I hate to change it.
Yeah.
We might do it once we hit 100 units or something like that.
Cool.
We're getting up there, but we're not quite there
Certainly.
yet. But I think it's not really ready to be changed yet. I think I still like it the way it is. This is just it's a simplified version in the sense that it's just less knobs, less channels. It's
Right.
less intimidating sounding. But you still have all this control and versatility that you still have, 4+ channel amp. You've got many more than that, really, in actuality, since you've got 4 gain modes that you can instantly recall 4 different gain levels. You've got the 4 fat levels, which allow you to change the way your low end is responding, which is real helpful for playing different styles of music, solos, and that kind of thing. And
Okay.
the 3 different voices and your bright control.
Are there power tube options for this amp?
606, EL34, KT88, KT66, 6550. Pretty much anything you want, you can put in there.
I'm on a huge KT88 kick
Yeah.
lately. Everything I put those tubes into is just awesome.
They're a good compromise, in my opinion, between a 606 and an EL34.
Yeah.
You get a better clean that you get with a 606, but you do get some of that mid-range character that you might like with an EL34. Still, though, I think KT88s are they're a little bit different beast than what you necessarily need for this amp.
They're definitely different, yeah.
The 606 is a perfect tube, I think, for this. I put 606s in everything unless somebody wants different. But
So stock, most of your amps, your 606.
yeah,
That's excellent.
That's what they're designed around. But the bias control is a real wide range, so you can hit the bias of a KT88 if you need to, without too much trouble. And there's the bias points on the back, so anyone can bias it up. And
I
swap
love
it
not
out.
pulling the chassis.
Yes,
That is
yes.
such a pain.
Yeah, you 4 screws, take the back panel off. You got the bias control on the top,
Perfect.
and then the test points in the back.
Perfect. Well, Kyle, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
See you later.